Charter Communications says it has no interest in a Sprint deal. Updated at 5:32 a.m. Monday. Charter Communications Incorporated is not interested in Sprint Corp's proposal to be acquired by Charter, a company spokesman said. Sprint proposed a merger with Charter as the wireless carrier seeks an alternative to a deal with T-Mobile US Incorporated that has so far not come to fruition, sources familiar with the matter told Reuters on Friday. Japan's SoftBank Group Corp., which controls Overland Park, Kansas-based Sprint, proposed a complex transaction that would create a new company and be controlled by SoftBank, the sources said. We understand why a deal is attractive for SoftBank, but Charter has no interest in acquiring Sprint, the spokesman said in an email to Reuters on Sunday. Charter has a good mobile virtual network operator, MVNO, relationship with Verizon Communications Incorporated and intends to launch wireless services to cable customers next year, the spokesman added. MVNOs do not own networks, and instead rent capacity from established operators to sell on to their customers, usually at low prices due to their small overheads, with cheap distribution through the internet or convenience stores. Underscore 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 underscore. Our earlier story, Sprint seeks alternatives to a merger with T-Mobile, IS Charter, which was updated Saturday morning. Sprint Corp has proposed a merger with Charter Communications Incorporated as the wireless carrier seeks an alternative to a deal with T-Mobile US Incorporated that has so far not come to fruition, according to sources familiar with the matter. Japan's SoftBank Group Corp., which controls Overland Park, Kansas-based Sprint, proposed a complex transaction that would create a new company and be controlled by SoftBank, the sources said, asking not to be named because the talks are private. The Wall Street Journal first reported the discussions on Friday. There is no guarantee Charter would be interested in a tie-up with Sprint, the sources said. Bloomberg reported Friday Charter had rebuffed Sprint's merger proposal. Charter's market capitalization, at $94.6 billion, is much larger than Sprint, which closed trading valued at $32.8 billion on Friday. Verizon Communications Inc. also expressed interest in a takeover of Charter earlier this year, sources have said. If Charter were to agree to a merger with Sprint, it would need the blessing of number one U.S. cable provider Comcast Corp. Charter and Comcast announced an agreement in May that bars either company from entering into a material transaction in wireless for a year without the other's consent. Sprint and Comcast declined to comment while Charter, SoftBank, and T-Mobile did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Sprint shares rose 5.8% in aftermarket trading while Charter shares were marginally up. Sprint has been looking at solutions to further its turnaround, strengthen its financial health and better compete in the fierce U.S. wireless industry. It held talks this month about receiving billions in funding from Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated and John Malone's Liberty Media Corp., Reuters previously reported, but they have not resulted in a deal. Sprint had been in a 2-month period of exclusive negotiations with Charter and Comcast over a potential wireless partnership that had put Sprint's merger talks with T-Mobile US on hold. That exclusivity period has ended, but talks with the cable companies continue, according to the sources. Despite regulatory hurdles, investors have long expected a deal between T-Mobile and Sprint, the third and fourth largest U.S. wireless service providers, anticipating cost cuts and other synergies. T-Mobile appears to be in no rush to pursue a merger, although it has acknowledged interest in speaking to Sprint. T-Mobile has been gaining share from larger competitors AT&T Incorporated and Verizon Communications Incorporated in a saturated U.S. wireless market through network improvements and lower prices. Charter moved its headquarters from Town and Country to Stamford, Conn, in 2012, but maintains a large local workforce estimated at about 4,000 people. This isn't the first time the Wall Street Journal has raised the possibility of a Charter combination with a major telecom. In January, it reported about the possibility of a Verizon Charter merger.